With the surprisingly good support from the Power of the Elements main set, the Neo-Spacian archetype will receive a noticeable boost in the consistency, power level and shoutouts to the anime apartment. This is my first take with the announced support so far. Because the cards aren't fully released yet, there might be even more ways to strengthen the deck with other card choices later down the line. But for the time right now, I feel like I did a decent job with the new cards, mixing it with the older strategies and the already consistent deck build. You might notice some newer cards missing from the main deck. Don't worry, they were strongly considered, but were excluded from this particular version because of different reasons that came up during playtesting. Cards like EN Wave and Fusion Over took up way too much new or Neo deck space, if you will, because I wanted to stay at the optimal 40 card deck limit. Not all of the cards stayed or could fit inside. The swap for better options over time should be the key for a fun, nostalgic dueling experience with a small competitive spice. If you watch a larger portion or the whole video, you might notice that I stayed true to the original deck formula, which is momentum. By overcoming the opponent at the right time, and yes, reading your cards and the opponent cards is unfortunately crucial for that, a win should be a safe deal. Of course, there are some exceptions. Only Omni-Negate, Floodgate boards are next to your own cards, the true enemy of the deck. Against Omni-Negates and Floodgates, the side deck can be a true cure. After siding, that kind of gameplay can easily be stopped and punished. There are plenty of ways to go about those strategies. We will have a look at them shortly. But before, let's have a look at a mess, or... But before, let's have a look at a mass of moss. Or mess. Mess. It's a mess, yes. I feel bad for not featuring Neo-Spacian Glow Moss in this deck. By appearing in the new EN Wave artwork, he opened up a wound I thought was closed many years ago. The famous moss with the glowing human-shaped body actually never received the shiniest treatment of shiny Yu-Gi-Oh! Holographics, the ultimate rare. All of the other Spacians received it back in 2006 and 2007, by the way. In August of 2018, when I attended Gamescom and chilled at Konami stand for like a whole week, fun experience by the way, I remember his first ever holographic printing after over 10 years. Yeah, after over 10 years. Finally, Konami showed the little moss some love. And yes, I had to collect each and every one of those holographics, by the way. A highlight for sure. Anyway, let's go back to the deck profile. The main part of a Neo-Spacian deck is the hero, who arrived from Neo-Space. This hero initiated the contact fusion mechanic to unleash new powers, elemental hero Neos of course. 2 copies of him is the best way to see the card every time when needed. Also Spirit of Neos helps. Play 2, 1 isn't enough, 3 can be too much. He special summons himself from hand to protect you from an attack. Do you remember the movie Bonds Beyond Time when Jaden did that move? Yeah, that move, yeah, okay, nice. When special summoned, he can't be destroyed by a battle. Also, you can add 1 spell or trap that mentions an elemental hero's monster's name, or 1 polymerization from the deck to hand. During your main phase, you can shuffle this card into the deck, and if you do, special summon 1 elemental hero normal monster from your deck. So even recyclable. Nice. With all of the powerful spell cards in the deck, 3 copies of Neo-Space Connector would be too much. So I chose to play the perfect balance of just 2. Of course, he is the best normal summon in the deck, but the deck can be more powerful when not getting stopped at the normal summon and having still the resources in the hand. The main Neo-Spacians in the deck are the couples of Grand Mole and Dank Panther, yeah, who doesn't know him? The main Neo-Spacians in the deck are the couples of Grand Mole and Dark Panther, as well as the other 2 of Aqua Dolphin and Air Hummingbird. More aren't needed, the extra deck is unfortunately very tight. A new cross-porter version appears in the deck in form of Crosskeeper. Do not underestimate him, he can be a great addition to each hero deck. By playing 3 copies, the chances of drawing him in the starting hand is obviously increased. He reads that you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon 1 elemental hero or 1 Neo-Spacian monster from your hand or graveyard. But if you special summon it from the graveyard, its effects are negated. If you special summon an elemental hero fusion monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card to Pot of Reach yourself. Nice. Then place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. And like Spirit of Neos, you can only use each effect of the card once per turn. Because I take advantage of the newly released Forbidden and Limited list. Man, it's April. Newly released, you know, yeah. Of the new Forbidden and Limited list. Joke. I won 1 Stratos together with now 2 A Hero Lives. This beats up duels and gives me another starter, searcher and combo piece. Also, Neos will profit from the lunatic self-destruction action from A Hero Lives. But more on that guy later on. Engage Neo-Space is a new and now officially the best starter, extender and piece the deck together in a nutshell card. The fan service from the anime fight between Neos and Candelatro, the Beast of Light, is very awesome. Hey guys, do you remember when Jaden fought that Lane of Light creature in episode 62 after he lost to spoiler alert as the Phoenix or Edo Phoenix in the Japanese version? Guys? Hello? Guys? Anyone? The card reads that you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this card, except fusion monsters, which isn't obviously a restriction at all for Neo-Spacians. Send 1 Neo-Spacian monster and 1 elemental hero monster to the graveyard, 1 from the hand and from the deck. Special summon 1 Neo-Spacian monster or 1 level 5 or higher elemental hero monster from your deck. If it's elemental hero Neos, it gains an attack boost of 1000 attack points. And if you do, add 1 polymerization from your deck or graveyard to your hand. This card is so versatile that the once per turn clause isn't that big of a deal. This card single-handedly gets everything started and going. Your opponent might even beg for mercy. Probably not, but it's a nice imagination. Here you go, let's throw another new card into the deck. I guess the anime keeps blessing us. Yeah, with cards. This card is unfortunately a more controversial one and supports the fact that the big entertainment conglomerate and video game company of Konami doesn't own the rights of elemental hero Neos anymore, or is forced to not feature him in any new video game, like for example Master Duel. So get your copy of him when you want to play Neo-Spacians in the future. To feature the card that could have been even more epic, I sat down in Photoshop and included the epicness of Neos' presence. Gone but not forgotten. The direct inspiration of Instant Contact is clearly and without a doubt Instant Fusion. Even the name and effect is quite similar. The card says that pay 1000 life points. Again, nice self-burn cost to boost Neos. Special summon 1 level 7 or lower elemental hero or Neo-Spacian monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, but if you do not have an elemental hero Neos on your field or in your graveyard, the special summoned monster cannot attack and its effects are negated. Also, return it to the extra deck during the end phase. Yet again, the activation is a once per turn. The card is, for my taste, a 3-off. It can summon basically anything for you at any time. For example, Flame Wingman for the new fusion boss monster. Spoilers, by the way, spoilers. Elemental Hero Sunrise to search Miracle Fusion. All of your Neo-Spacian boss monsters, level 7 or lower, of course. And even Twinkle Moss, Marine Dolphin, or another possible next target if Konami feels like releasing them in the future. In the future! Nice clause for possible future support, yes. Next on my list we have just 2 copies of Neo's Fusion. Because of the restricting special summon factor that goes with it, I've decided to play it at 2 for now. It's searchable at any time by almost anything in the deck, and you can only play 1 copy a turn anyway, so yeah, I felt like 2 cards are enough for now. 2 Miracle Contacts. Same reason here, plus it requires additional setup and is searchable as well. Just think of your starting hand and possible bricks that could come with a 3rd one. You don't want it, no. You don't want that. Let's continue with 3 copies of one of the best spell cards in the game, called Super Polymerization. If you haven't figured it out by now, I will highlight the game plan. This deck prefers to go second and to OTK you the game. That's why I'm a big fan of 2 favorite hero cards in combination with the classic Neo-Space. I felt like cutting down Convert Contact to 1 copy. The card can hinder you to play it because of the you have to control no monsters restriction. It can be very situational. More one-offs are the searchable and reusable polymerization, Miracle Fusion, reinforcements of the army to search starters like Neo-Space Connector, Crosskeeper, Stratos, or even Aqua Dolphin. E-Emergency Call is a clearly 3-off. It searches all E-heroes in the deck and makes the Spirit of Neos and Crosskeeper combo more viable. The artwork of the new trap card foreshadows a new boss monster. The name of the normal trap card is Favorite Contact. And the text says, special summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that lists a hero monster as material by placing the materials listed on it on the bottom of the deck in any order from among your cards in the hand, on your field, in your graveyard, and or face up banished cards. Ignoring summoning conditions, and if you place Elemental Hero Neos, the summoned monster cannot be returned to the extra deck. Nice. You can only activate 1 favorite contact once per turn. Looks like a counterpart to the anime exclusive Hope for the Future Fusion Trap card to me. But instead of sending all of the needed cards from the deck to the graveyard, you can recycle all of them, all of those powerful resources, to the deck. I like it and the fact that gives the summoned monster a bit of protection. In conclusion, it's an overall good and searchable trap card for the hero archetype. Here, a sure one-off, why not? I mentioned earlier that the extra deck is quite tight, and I meant that. If you feel lucky, you can include a Divine Neos. Cosmo Neos was the better card overall for me. His as a thought lockdown effect can be devastating, especially when applied on the opponent's turn in combination with the last shown card, Favorite Contact. He is the true Neo-Spacian boss monster. After that we have the first trio of Nebula Neos, Dark Neos and Grand Neos. And the second trio consists of Storm Neos, Aqua Neos, and the Air Neos. Brave Neos is a more generic Neo-Spacian hero, released in Savage Strike back in 2019. Even though it's a super polymerization target, you usually bring him out with Neos Fusion by sending Neos and Crosskeeper to the graveyard. Directly after that, you can trigger the Keeper to draw 2 and place 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. That's a small interaction, you know. Next, I play a copy of Elemental Hero Sunrise. And 1 copy of Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. You will need him for the new boss monster, Shining Neos Wingman. It's a combination of the Elemental Hero Neos and a Wingman fusion monster. It's a level 8 warrior monster with 3100 attack and 2500 defense points. Its text says that he must be fusion summoned. If this card is special summoned, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls up to the number of different attributes on the field. So basically an interruption on the opponent's turn. Awesome. You can only use this effect of Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman once per turn. Gains 300 attack for each monster in your graveyard and cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original attack. So what we have here is an homage, an over-the-top boosted Shining Flare Wingman with a countered effect to Shining Phoenix Enforcer, which in comparison can't be destroyed by battle. He is also a hard counter to Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. Nice touch. Keep it up, card designer of Konami. Nice. Hope you don't get an earworm when I say wake up your Elemental Hero. This card took huge inspiration by the end credit scene of the 2nd season of the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX anime song Wake Up Your Heart. In the Japanese version even sung by the voice actor Kenshiro Ohashi, also known as Ken himself. Wake Up Your Elemental Hero is a level 10 light warrior fusion monster with 2500 attack and 2100 defense points, like the Dark Magician. Nice similarity. It needs 1 Elemental Hero fusion monster plus 1 or more warrior monsters as material. It cannot be special summoned except by fusion summon. This card gains 300 attack for each of its materials and can attack monsters each battle phase up to the number of fusion materials used for it as material. If this card battles a monster, after damage calculation destroy that monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. If the fusion summoned card is destroyed, you can special summon 1 warrior monster from your hand or deck. More generic fusion cards like Guardian Chimera helps to unbrick. Predaplant, Dracostopelia and Mud Dragon of the Swamp are the preferred super poly targets to break boards or go for a classic OTK. Great choices for the side deck are, in my opinion, cards like Forbidden Droplet or a more budget variant of Dark Ruler No More. Breath of Neos, if it resolves, it can destroy all cards on the field, which is obviously very nice. Evenly matched, Red Reboot. If you want to go for a more Rainbow Neos Turbo route build, you can include cards like, of course, Rainbow Dragon, Rainbow Neos, Predaplant, Verta Anaconda, and the third, Neos Fusion and an Upstart Goblin for, quick access. Hope you guys enjoyed the newest version of my Neo-Spacian deck. Until next time, see ya, bye.
エレメンタルヒーローシャイニングネオスウィングマン